Are Nollywood movies truly too predictable, or have Nigerians simply become harsher on our own stories than we are on Hollywood? Because Omoni Oboli has entered this conversation with one very bold argument. Hollywood movies are predictable too, but nobody drags them the way people drag Nollywood. And Sisi Nation, she did not stop there. She even suggested that Nollywood may have more original stories than Hollywood. Now, the question is, did she speak the truth, or is she defending an industry that urgently needs to improve? Sisi Nation, come closer because this conversation is about to become very interesting. For years, one of the biggest complaints about Nollywood has been the same. The stories are predictable. The moment the rich man meets the struggling woman, viewers already know romance is coming. Once the wicked mother-in-law enters the house, everybody knows trouble has arrived. When the cheating husband starts hiding his phone, we already know somebody will soon catch him. And sometimes, before a Nollywood movie has even reached 20 minutes, viewers are already guessing the final scene. But filmmaker and actress Omoni Oboli says Nigerians may be focusing on the wrong thing. According to her, predictability is not only a Nollywood problem. Hollywood does it too. And honestly, that statement has opened a much bigger conversation than whether a film has a surprise ending. It raises a difficult question. Are Nigerian audiences demanding more from Nollywood because they genuinely want better stories? Or have we become too quick to dismiss anything made at home? Before we continue, Sisi Nation, tell me in the comments, are Nollywood movies too predictable? Yes or no? No long explanation yet. Just drop yes or no. Let us see where Sisi Nation stand. Omoni Oboli's argument is simple. She says that viewers often judge a movie only by whether they correctly guessed the ending. But according to her, that is not necessarily what makes a film good or bad. She pointed out that superhero movies are usually predictable. Most times, we know the hero will eventually defeat the villain. In romantic comedies, we already expect the couple to end up together. In Christmas movies, we often tell who will fall in love, who will reconcile, and how the final celebration will look. Yet, millions of people continue watching those films. Why? Because they enjoy the journey, and that is where Omoni Oboli believes the real issue lies. In her view, when the journey is entertaining, emotional, and engaging, viewers do not complain so much about predictability. But when the journey is weak, repetitive, or boring, that is when people begin shouting, "This movie is too predictable." Sisi Nation, I understand her point. Knowing how a story may end does not always destroy the experience. Sometimes you watch because you want to see how the characters will arrive there. You want to see what they will sacrifice. You want to see who will betray whom. You want to see whether the apology will come too late. The destination may be familiar, but the emotional journey can still keep you watching. However, this is where the disagreement begins, because many Nigerians are not only complaining about predictable endings, they are complaining about predictable characters, recycled conflict, repeated casting, and storylines that feel almost identical. That is a different issue entirely. The reason this conversation can generate serious debate is that both sides have a point. On one side, Omoni Oboli is right that Hollywood also repeats formulas. Superhero wins, couple falls in love, detective solves the case, family reunites during Christmas, underdogs succeed after struggling. These are familiar storytelling patterns. Hollywood has repeated them for decades, but Hollywood often disguises familiar stories with strong pacing, bigger production, memorable characters, and different settings. The audience may not know where the story is heading, but the representation keeps them interested. On the other side, Nigerians viewers are saying we are not complaining simply because we get the ending, we are complaining because we have seen the same journey too many times. That is the painful difference. It is one thing to know that two characters will fall in love, but it is another thing to watch the same misunderstanding, the same jealous ex, the same controlling mother, and the same final airport scene again and again. Sometimes it is not predictability that frustrates the audience, it is repetition. And because YouTube now allows filmmakers to release movies frequently, almost every week, if not, the pressure to keep producing content may also affect the originality of these movies. Omani herself has explained that the platform allows her to release films regularly and employ crews continuously, and reach audiences around the world. That is a major achievement. But frequent production also creates a serious challenge. Can filmmakers maintain strong storyline when audiences expect new movies rather, almost every week? Because quantity may provide jobs and keep channels active, but viewers will still demand quality. The boldest part of Omoni's argument was not even her defense of predictable stories. It was her claim that Nollywood may have more original stories than Hollywood. That statement will definitely divide people, but let us examine it fairly. Nigeria has hundreds of cultures, languages, traditions, family structures, spiritual beliefs, and social realities. We have stories about inheritance battles, stories about village customs, stories about migration, about family pressure, about infertility, marriage, poverty, class, religion, and survival. We have enough material to produce fresh films for generations. So when Omoni says stories have never really been Nollywood's problem, she may be referring to the depth of experiences available in Nigeria. And she is not completely wrong. The raw stories are here. The question is whether Nollywood is always developing those stories deeply enough. Because having access to original stories is not the same as telling them originally. That is where viewers are challenging the industry. Nigerians are not saying that Nollywood has no talent. They are asking why such a culturally rich industry still returns to so often rather to the same relationship dramas and familiar character types. Sisi Nation, let me ask you again. Does Nollywood lack original stories, or does it lack the courage to tell them differently? That is the real conversation. There is another layer to Omoni Oboli's defense. Nollywood is no longer speaking only to Nigerians. These films are traveling. People are watching them in countries filmmakers may never have expected. YouTube has changed everything. A movie uploaded in Lagos can be watched immediately in London, Toronto, Nairobi, Johannesburg, or New York, and Omoni has become one of the clearest examples of that transformation. Her channel has built a massive international audience, and films such as Love in Every Word reached millions of viewers. That means something about Nollywood is connecting. Maybe it is the emotion, maybe it is the family drama, maybe it is the cultural familiarity. Maybe viewers see parts of their own lives rather in these stories, and this global interest proves that Nollywood should not be dismissed. However, global success should not make the industry ignore criticism. Audience feedback is not always hate. Sometimes viewers complain because they genuinely want better films. They want stronger stories. They want less repetition. They want characters who feel human instead of predictable. They want endings that feel earned even when they can guess them. So perhaps Omoni is right that predictability itself is not the enemy. The real enemy may be an uninteresting journey. Here is my honest opinion, Sisi Nation. A movie does not need a shocking twist to be good. Not every story must end with somebody waking up from a dream. Not every trusted character must secretly be the villain. Sometimes a straightforward story can still be powerful, but the journey must make us feel something. Make us laugh, angry, or uncomfortable. Make us question our decisions too. Make us see familiar situations differently. That is what viewers are demanding. So, yes, Hollywood movies are predictable too, but that should not become an excuse for Nollywood to ignore weak storytelling. At the same time, Nigerians should also stop acting as if every foreign movie is automatically better simply because it came from Hollywood. We should support our industry while still holding it accountable. Both things can be true. Omoni Oboli can be right that Nollywood possesses rich original stories, and the audience can also be right that some filmmakers are repeating the same formulas too often. That is not about tearing Nollywood down. It is about asking the industry to become as powerful as we know it can be. Now, Sisi Nation, I want honest answers in the comment section. Do you agree with Omoni Oboli that Hollywood movies are predictable too? Or do you think she is avoiding the real complaints Nigerians have about Hollywood? And name one Nollywood producer whose movies you will watch without hesitation. Is it Omoni Oboli, Bimbo Ademoye, Ruth Kadiri, Biodun Stephen, Uchena Mbonabo, Uchenansi, or somebody else entirely? Drop the name below and tell us why. Please like this video, subscribe to Sisi Dee, and join Sisi Nation for more Nollywood conversations, celebrity stories, and entertainment gist.